Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that one. I don't know. You didn't have any problems getting over here today? Okay. Yeah, what we're trying to do is. Got all of this extra coil down in my. Let's see, poverty, health, and economic well-being of African American youth. Is that African Americans? Okay. Poverty, health, and economic well-being of African Americans. African Americans.
Look at a piece of paper.
Huh? Did I have? Was that the? Poverty, health, and economic well-being. Okay. No, but what else? I mean.
I thought we talked about anything.
Well, whatever you want to talk about, too. That's it don't matter about what I got. No, sir. But we want. I want to do what you feel comfortable in dealing with, because.
Just talking about, poverty, how is it related to health?
Okay.
Poverty, how is it related to the incarceration rate?
Okay.
How is it break up a family? Just a number of different things.
Okay, so.
But we'll start off with health.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's start off with let's change the title, and call it poverty, and let's use poverty as the main topic today.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Poverty of African Americans, and then allow you to put whatever you want to in any of those areas, which is to say that if you want to talk about education or whatever, and et cetera. Okay. But to talk about, let's start talking about poverty.
Okay.
Impact of poverty on African Americans. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Impact of poverty on African Americans.
I think that guy got you riled up, didn't he?
Yeah, man.
I ain't never seen. Oh, Doc used to be cool. Doc could grab me right from the door and say, "Come on back here."
Taylor, he's been with us before. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know him.
I know him. Yeah. He caused a problem.
Yeah, I didn't know they were gonna come out that strong here.
Yeah.
You gotta be responsible for,
Yeah, you got to your viewing audience.
That's right.
Yeah.
You might say what do you want to say, but
Yeah.
And
You gotta think about.
in a situation to stop him.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
You might want to pull your tie from the bottom.
Okay. For mine? Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's straight now.
As I grab your shirt so you can tie. Can we get a mic check for me, please?
Sure. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Good, thank you.
Impact of poverty on African Americans.
Okay, that sounds good.
Let you go from there.
Okay.
You have 30 minutes.
All right.
And so however you want to use poverty here or wherever.
Okay.
And we'll sort of develop it as we go along.
Okay.
Don't do no Gregory Taylor.
All right, now see, that's still the impact. He does.
Still on my mind.
He's still on your mind. The impact here. Yeah, you gotta let it go now.
Yeah, I can't.
Showtime.
Yeah, it is showtime.
Ain't it time?
Okay, God is good. Okay, Dr. Sanford, EKSanford5, Tennessee State University.
Yeah.
Still want to be known?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying still got me there. They treat me bad, but they got me there. You know how they do
I
you.
was there for 30 years.
I hear you.
I know exactly
You know
how they
that.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anytime we're ready.
Yeah, you can talk about promotion. Yeah.
Okay, no problems. We're just trying to, this is the last show for today.
All right.
I can get out of here. But,
I'm supposed to look at you now, right, when we're talking?
Yeah,
Okay.
just watch me.
Is the chair okay? Okay.
Yeah, just, yeah. So the first segment will be 6 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll take a break, 2-minute break, and then 8 minutes, and 2-minute break, and then 10 minutes.
All
2-minute break. You got that? 6 minutes, 2 break, a minute break, and then 8, and et cetera. etc. And so let me know when we get 2 minutes into each of those segments. I mean, 2 minutes left. Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the impact of poverty on African Americans, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the impact of poverty on African Americans, Dr. EKSanford. Dr. Sanford is a professor at Tennessee State University and has been with us on a number of occasions. And so, Dr. Sanford, let me welcome you to the show this morning and to say up front that I'm sure that many members of our audience know you quite well because you've been with us on a number of occasions and you've given us excellent information, sociological information especially, and so we certainly appreciate that, and we're glad to have you here this morning to talk about the impact of poverty on African Americans. But before we start that, Dr. Sanford, let's see if we can talk about Dr. EKSanford, to have you to give us some statements in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences. And then at the end of this first segment, we'll come back and we'll start dealing with the impact of poverty on African Americans. Let's see if we can do it from that perspective.
Okay, and thank you very much. It's always a delight to be here. As you've already noted, I'm EKSanford, professor of sociology at Tennessee State University. I did my educational postdoc experience at the Penn State University in State College, Pennsylvania. Proud to say I did my doctorate degree at Howard University in Washington, D.C. While there, I had some wonderful experiences that I think will contribute to this morning's conversation. I worked at the national headquarters of the American Red Cross doing evaluation research in HIV/AIDS and education, which I've also contributed to here in Nashville, Tennessee, Davidson County, on that same project with Meharry Medical Center. Also, I worked at the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives while I was working on my doctorate degree as well. I did my undergraduate degree at North Carolina Central University, where I'm originally from, of Oxford, North Carolina, and also at UNC in Chapel Hill, where I'm very proud to have had that experience as well. And then, as you just mentioned, I'm a professor of sociology at Tennessee State University, and I've been there for, I guess, close to 20 years now. Yeah.
And with a lot of information, Dr. Sanford, I must say up front that you've got so much information and you've done so well in terms of distributing that information and encouraging others to follow some of the information that you've given us. And so I just want you to know that up front.
Yes.
Let's see if we can start talking to, make some statements in reference to this idea of poverty and the impact of poverty on African Americans.
Okay, I'm gratefully. I would like to try to mention an observation of a piece that I've just been working on sociologically, a colleague of mine this summer on obesity rates among African Americans. As you may very well know, throughout the United States and the South, the obesity problem is a huge issue and concern. Over $147 billion is spent each year with regard to obesity rates. That rate is disproportionate to African Americans, and what we found in our research that is disproportionate in relation to poverty. Low income people have a tendency to have to eat a lot of trans fats, dietary types of habits that are not totally healthy for you but are more filling. And this has been a problem. But I would like to try to place it into a historical context of 1619 of slavery for 244 years leading up to the present, where these types of things have become very cultural. In many instances, some of the dietary habits that might be very present within the culture of the African American experience are linked to that earlier time period. we endearingly may refer to it as soul food, and many of that type of dietary habits now we found contributors to some of the poor health that is present. So from that earlier time period of slavery, to hundreds of years leading through Jim Crow laws and segregation, we found issues of poverty that has led a group of people making up 12% of the population still today, largely into a culture of poverty, I might say, that have brought about certain contributing factors that might be related to health and wellness in a very negative way. Now, interestingly, in our research, we found that unfortunately, not only is it for the lower income members of the African American community, but in many instances, even in the middle class and upper middle class and upper class of the African American experience. Why? Because it's related to culture and eating habits and dietary habits. And so some of the foods that are endearing to that particular community, people may still indulge in it in large and disproportionate proportions. So we find hypertension, high blood pressure, issues such as heart attacks, diabetes, that are larger part of society is still disproportionate to the African American community based on poverty.
And of course, I think that what we'll do now is to make preparations for this first commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll pick up at this point, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.
Might be related, such as crime, delinquency.
That's good. That sounds good.
Socioeconomic status.
Goes well. This
education,
is going well. It goes well. I like this.
Yeah, but I know we just over at this university this time, they gave, it's the research and sponsor research. They had a call it was almost at the end of the semester, and gave us 2 weeks to come in and work from Monday through Thursday just on a research project. And we have been working on this, doing panel discussions for a number of years now. But you know how it is, when they're teaching 4 or 5 classes, you don't ever have an opportunity to put it together. So they gave us an opportunity every morning from 8 to 3, and they provided us with lunch to try to pull together your research. And so it was an interesting thing, But what I meant by that, I didn't want to get into it, but you can look at some of the overweight and issues, even in the upper class. You know, when you have a lot more money, then you can buy a lot more food if we're eating the same thing.
Same thing.
That's right.
That's right. It's still pork.
That's
whatever
right.
it is.
That's right. It's like Oprah. You know.
This is an 8-minute segment, right? Yes. And you're going to give me 2-minute warning before. Okay. The impact of poverty on African Americans. And we have a lot of it too.
There it is.
Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Dr. EKSanford from Tennessee State University, and he's talking about the impact of poverty on African Americans. And so, Professor Sanford, let's see if we can pick up where we left off the last time and to give you an opportunity to further develop some of the things that you're saying in reference to the impact that poverty is having upon African Americans. Let's do it from that perspective.
Okay, well, thanks so much. In that last segment, we made an effort to try to contextualize the aspect of health disparities among African Americans, and we find that it's disproportionate in comparison to others. For instance, when we look at the data demographically throughout the United States, for instance, the state of Tennessee, we are ranked like number 3 in the nation in overbeats and overweight issues that will then cause chronic illnesses. So when you control for race and ethnicity, you find it's disproportionate for certain ethnic groups, although it is also a problem for the total population. Some of it is certainly a part of Southern culture, but still disproportionate for African Americans, not only in the Southern states, but throughout the United States. Interestingly, the present candidate Hillary Clinton is also looking at issues related to disparities economically among Americans throughout the United States. And I think there's a strong notion even there that different ethnic groups are certainly experiencing this disproportionately. So when you think in terms of income and how income and living in poverty impacts people's lives, it always brings about a lot of ills within that particular ethnic group, whoever you may be. And so African Americans in many instances are very disproportionate, Native Americans, Hispanics, other ethnic groups. If they're disproportionately related to education, and then that's going to impact, of course, the low income. As you may very well know, our national president right now has made every effort to try to raise the minimum wage to $15 per hour throughout the United States. And even if that becomes law throughout the United States, and when you think in terms of the rates and how expensive it is to live and to live in a healthy, good quality of life, that still puts a person in a very disproportionate type of fashion in relation to education, in relation to health, in relation to maintaining a family, in relation to raising a child and socializing them in the correct way. So when we look at some of these disparities in the United States, they're very strongly related to the culture of poverty.
And so there's no way around getting over the fact that African Americans are disproportionately impacted by poverty, as I think as you're indicating.
Yeah, absolutely. And historically, we can see this from an earlier time period to the present. There have been a lot of inequalities that have existed within the system. And when I always talk about social structure, I'm thinking about the main institutions that make up society, such as economics, such as the family. And when you look at economics and how that's related to the family, and if economics is not going well, if you have a high level of family breakup. When you think about medicine, I know we have a national health care policy right now, but that's always been a problem.